any political sport on security issues, and I do not seek popularity, Mr. Speaker, and I will not be seeking to be clapped for on these issues. But I want to say this. Our security forces, Mr. Speaker, are doing every day a lot of work to avert any possibility of this enemy who is roaming around our border to get into many other parts of the country and cause harm as it has done before. And many of these things that the security officers do go unreported. And even when we are provoked by irresponsible media to try to defend ourselves, we refuse, Mr. Speaker, because it is not in our place to try to reveal the things we have done and how we have thwarted certain things. But I want to thank especially MPs in border counties, all those border counties, for the work we do together, and the citizens of the border counties for the work they do to help us prevent resurgence of any acts of terrorism or actors in that sense to keep our country safe. And I want to thank our security officers for the sacrifice they make. Even when sometimes we get casualties, it's because they make the greatest sacrifice to deal with this enemy that is intended to cause harm in our country. Mr. Speaker, on the question of Mombasa and the Panga boys, as asked by Honorable Zamzam, I went to Mzambweni and I sat with the security forces because of the early this year, as soon as I was appointed, to deal with questions of Mr. Speaker across the country of gangs. And I made a public pronouncement, and we embarked on operations, Mr. Speaker, to deal with all criminal gangs, from Panga boys in Coast, Mr. Speaker, to confirm, Mr. Speaker, and Watizedi in Nakuru, to the all characters, Mr. Speaker, in Matungu, to all these other characters like Chingororo in Kisii. Mr. Speaker, we are on top of this. And Mr. Speaker, you remember the politicians had tried to use gangs in Matungu constituency and caused havoc. Mr. Speaker, you must have seen that in the last few weeks, as a result of our security operations, there is calm in that part of the country. There was also resurgence of these gangs in Trans Nzoia, where heightened political activities, Mr. Speaker, by local politicians were trying to recruit young boys to also being gangs, Mr. Speaker, to these gangs. Mr. Speaker, specifically in the Coast Province and the Panga boys, I want to thank the regional police commander, Mr. Nuno, and the security team, regional commissioner, and the team for the work they have done to round up all these boys that are engaging in criminal activities, wielding pangas in both Mombasa and Kwale counties. Mr. Speaker, in Mombasa, just 2 days ago, we arrested 120 of them. And Mr. Speaker, a good number have been arrested also in Kwale. I will be going to, in my tour to the coast region from Monday next week, Mr. Speaker. One of the top in our security agenda is complete eradication of these Panga boys who have actually terrorized residents for many years, Mr. Speaker. And this is an issue that we will give greater priority. In the meetings we will have, we will also have local leaders. I want to acknowledge the elected leaders of these both counties because they are really cooperating with us. And Mr. Speaker, without their cooperation, we could not have dealt with a number of these issues. Mr. Speaker, I'll be meeting the chiefs and the assistant chiefs and all the security people in the 6 counties for the next 6 days next week. And this issue will be of great priority. And I will be inviting directly all the leaders to attend these meetings in their county headquarters. Mr. Speaker, and I saw also the cruise ship issue that was reported today in the news, and Honorable Zamzam has raised that issue. Mr. Speaker, we have a department called a diplomatic police unit that usually works together with, not diplomatic, but tourist police unit that works with the tourists to make sure that they are safely escorted in different parts of the country. Particularly this cruise ship, Mr. Speaker, there was a lapse of operational procedure because the county security team were not informed of the team leaving the port to come to town. And it was during Eid, Mr. Speaker, at the time when the security team were covering various parts of the coast region during Eid because of the bigger population. And some of these boys, when food was being distributed in Mombasa, they came to various parts of Mombasa. And on their way, Mr. Speaker, one tourist was attacked and the phone was stolen and the tourist was bruised. Luckily, Mr. Speaker, none of them was seriously injured, and investigations are ongoing to make sure that we arrest those people. Mr. Speaker, in the last 3 months, we have had 3 cruise ships that have docked in Mombasa, and the tourists were properly facilitated and no incident occurred. In this situation, there was a relapse of procedure, and we want to ask our colleagues in the other departments of government that we work together that we maintain that procedure so that proper security and escort for tourists, especially when they are coming in large number to town, especially cruise ships. It's important that that procedure is followed, and so that no other incident will occur in the future, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we also did police changes as a result of this Panga Boys issue. A number of changes were done by National Police Service, by the Inspector General of Police, and you can see a lot of activity going on in these counties, Mr. Speaker. We will, during our consultative meeting next week, if we realize that there are still areas of weakness, we will make sure that, Mr. Speaker, those areas are addressed and changes are made accordingly. We want to keep our country safe, but also we want to work as a team, so that it is not the person of the IG being seen in everywhere so that the work can be done. We want to make sure that in the security sector, we will be working as a team and make sure that everybody from the junior to the IG is accountable. Honorable Fatuma had asked the question of unoperated gazetted but not operationalized administrative units. I'm sure my answer has already responded to that. And she also asked on behalf of Kwale County on the question of Panga Boys. And I think also I have responded accordingly. Mr. Speaker, finally, I think that was the case of Honorable Bashir. That's all, Mr. Speaker, I wish to respond. Thank you.
These hands are all on operationalization of units.
It's a big problem. It's a big
issue. Zambia, take your seat. It's out of order to be upstanding with your hands in the air. Yes, Basil, let's see how much we can do on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And don't make speeches, just ask your question. And one
Okay,
each.
I'm going direct to the question. So could the CS explain to the Parliament why the Yatta sub-county administrative units were omitted from Gazette Notice 1766, dated 14th February 2024, despite timely submissions from the people of Yatta? Thank you.
Thank you. Ferdinand? One question, no speeches.
CS, I just want to ask you, with the authorization of these units, it's very important that we reorganize ourselves on KPRs, which were not there. They were there those days, but now they're not there. The new units, what are you doing about it? Because KPRs actually are very important units in terms of security, because I localize people. What have you done about it?
Thank you. Kwenya?
Thank you, Speaker. My question goes again to, I want to ride on the established questions. And I had the Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary say that they have a list of the administrative units that are going to operationalize. And the priority is based on one, security, insecurity, population, and the like. And Mr. Speaker, I have administrative units in Kinangop that were gazetted, and I happen to represent one of the biggest constituencies in East and Central Africa. Among the 7 constituencies that are very big, huge in the Republic, Kinangop is one. I only have 2 sub-counties. The population is deserving. They have been gazetted, but have not been operationalized for a long time. I would wish to know, Mr. Speaker, whether engineer, sub-county, and the units that follow are part of what the CS is proposing to have operationalized.
Thank you. Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my question will be a follow-up to what Honorable Basil has said. Generally, in the Eastern region, Honorable Speaker, a number of the proposed administrative units were not catered for as they were considering other areas. I would want to know already what happened. And Honorable Speaker, in my own constituency, just to give an example, in my own constituency, Honorable Speaker, I have 2 locations where the geographical area being served by the chief and the assistant chief are the same. And I've been wondering how do you even, in terms of service delivery, how effective that is. I would want to hear what policy is there for areas where the chief and the assistant chief are serving the same geographical area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tongay. Give the mic. You're wasting
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary has indicated that there are some administrative units that are not going to be operationalized because of a lack of funds. And there are some factors that he has given us that will ensure that those administrative units are not going to be operational. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the CS, can he provide for us some of those units that will not be operationalized in this the coming financial year? Because Narok County is affected. We have a Malo sub-county that was created. We have Narok North sub-county, which was created also, and has only a DCC and an ACC serving because there are no divisions. So, Honorable Speaker, if you could provide for us a list, then we'll be in a better position to answer our constituents. Thank you.
Farah. Minister, you are noting all those? Yes. Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I have just some 2 issues.
Only one.
Mr. Speaker, I was around and you were around when chiefs and sub-chiefs in security, high security areas used to be given paramilitary training and used to be given guns in APTCU. The chiefs who were abducted the other day in Mandera, if they had the guns, would have defended themselves, would have had a chance of fighting back. Will the government consider arming chiefs and sub-chiefs and giving them the paramilitary training so that they're able also to become the first line of defense of our people? Mr. Speaker, there are 2 areas in Garissa County where Al-Shabaab has just taken roots. In Fafi constituency and on the periphery of my constituency. And I remember when the late Ogle was leading a paramilitary force those days called anti-shifter. These people cannot be fought by using vehicles and running around with it. Why don't we create that special force that tracks them on foot?
Point made. Nicholas.
Mr. Speaker, my question goes to the CS on the issues of NPR and also the issue of the special forces. On a CS, the issue of creation of the special units in this country to address insecurity issues in some areas. But areas like Turkana, West Pokot, Baringo, and Samburu, when are we going to have a special unit to address the issue of insecurity in those areas of the North Rift?
Thank you. Naisula.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the issue of operationalization of administrative units, I wanted to find out from the CS whether security can be prioritized. Areas where we have insecurity, for example, Samburu West sub-county that has been gazetted because it's a matter of life and death. Yes, population is important, the service is to reach to the people, but where we are discussing about life and death, whether those areas can be prioritized.
You already said those are critical areas for prioritization. Did you say so, Speaker? Yes. The Minister? You did. Cherarod?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, Mr. Speaker, is about the issue of village managers. We've been discussing here in this parliament, Mr. Speaker, but up to date, I know it has not been
village managers or village elders?
Village elders. Yes. They are called managers, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
The current Okay. That is a new title, Mr. Speaker.
Go on.
So I want to ask the CS that if possible, you should set a timeline so that they can be able to be considered, Mr. Speaker. The other time we said
you have a bill pending before this House.
Yes, we said they have to be given some, Stephen.
Malulu Njendi.
Yes.
So fast track the bill, then he creates regulations and you operationalize.
You see, Mr. Speaker, what the CS... What the CS mentioned, Mr. Speaker, is that he's going to work on it. So I want to ask him if he can set some timelines so that they can be paid, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Zambia, I thought people are riding on your question. You want to ride on your own question?
Oh, thank you,
Members are riding on your question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I want to be a bit specific to the CS.
Order, McLeod, who do you want to inform? I want to inform the minister. Who? The minister is not a participant in debate in this House, so you can't inform him. Under what standing order? Yes. He is not a participant in the debate. Take your seat. You cannot, he is not a participant in the debate of this House. Zambia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will be very brief and specific to the Cabinet Secretary. I thought this matter was just very straightforward because this is an allocation within my constituency, which was just subdivided to create another location.
But he said consultations are going on to harmonize the issues so that we...
But that's why I'm saying I want to be a bit specific.
Isn't that what you said, Minister?
What I'm trying to say is that, Honorable Speaker, the time this gazettement...
You want a timeline?
Yes.
Okay. He will give you any answers? Mandazi? You want timeline, Minister? You'll give him when you answer? Yes. Give Zambia the mic again.
Honorable Speaker, I'm very specific because the time this gazettement was being done, the county commissioner is now the secretary to the Interior and she's seated here. Honorable Speaker, these are just a straightforward matter which I thought it would be sorted right here, not talking about public participation and all that.
The minister will respond right now.
We cannot keep on spending public money when we have straight answers, Honorable Speaker. I think I should get direct answer that the gazettement should be done henceforth.
Point made. Mandazi?
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to ask the minister, based on the fact that he knows Nyongores very well, Nyongores ward is a ward that is at the border of Bomet East, Bomet Central, and Chepalungu. Normally, Bwana CS, when there is recruitment for any kind of employment, the young men that goes to Sigor are told that they are not in Chepalungu simply because part of the constituency that I represent is politically within Chepalungu and administratively outside Chepalungu. Some part of it is in Bomet Central and part of it is in Bomet East. Specifically, Itembe location and Kyogong locations. Those are the most affected.
Them to be realigned, right?
Yes, I would ask the minister if there is a way we can realign them so that the young men who are seeking for employment, whenever they go for recruitment, are not told to go back.
Thank you, Mandazi Omolher. You'll have an opportunity, everybody. Omolher, quickly, one question each.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine is just a comment from the Cabinet Secretary regarding the incident that happened in Fafi, where 6 NPR reservists were left dead following an attack that happened last week during Ramadan, where the reserve unit was attacked and it left 6 people dead and 4 are still injured. I would like a comment on that. Thank you.
Yes, Parashina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've seen that a lot of members have a lot of queries concerning the gazetted ones. Can the Waziri, whom I love and I know he can do a good job, can he please submit to us the way the distribution is being done, even if there's a constraint on that in terms of the budget, because I have the gazetted division called Amboseli, I have a gazetted location called Langata Nkema, I have 2 sub-locations called Engi or Soit, so that member can be able to appreciate his great work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Pukose. One question each.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask the Cabinet Secretary, you know, he said he made a statement on the Panga gangs in Transoya, but they were eliminated, similar gangs in Transoya. Yes. They are eliminated from one corner, but they have now moved into a corner known as Nauyapong and Napeki. And the OCS, I spoke to him in the morning, he has challenges in terms of moving from one corner to the other because he has only one police vehicle. When are you able to provide a police vehicle to OCS Chepchoina so that he can deal with the 2 gangs, one which is terrorizing the village of next to Napeki, which is and also Nauyapong area. It's terrorizing Kashaber, and now people are not even sleeping in their houses, similar to Nauyapong.
Kamkunji.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I just wanted to raise one particular question, but in that context, there has been a growing insecurity in the Majengo area of Pumwani in Kamkunji. And on the 5th of...
Raise your voice.
On the 5th, there has been a growing insecurity in the Majengo Pumwani area of Kamkunji. On the 5th of March, a policeman shot dead a young person from that neighborhood, Ibrahim Rabadan. And following the shooting, there was a protest that led to the killing of another young person, Dennis Mudui. And what happened in that particular day was that all businesses closed down, the schools were closed down, and there is a particular feeling that there was a failure of leadership, the Ngau and the police leadership in the constituency. On that particular day, they were not able to resolve those issues through reconciliation. I'm sure, I hope that you have reviewed the particular incidents and the leadership deficit that we have noticed. What action are you taking to address this particular failure? Or are we waiting for another disaster? Is it business as usual?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Minister, are you able to absorb more? Or you deal with those? Mama Kericho.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask a question to the CS concerning the security or the police officers. Knowing that their duty is to protect our people, we have a case, Honorable Speaker, where a police officer shot Mr. Amos Langat of Pureti, Cheplanget Ward, on 23rd of March, because they were playing pool, and then I think this Amos must have defeated the police officer. He shot him 6 times on the stomach, Honorable Speaker.
Losing a game of pool?
Yes.
Go on and ask.
Stomach, abdomen, all of it he was shot. Honorable Speaker, we buried him yesterday.
Yes.
And I want to say that the case was reported in police station, but up to date, nothing has been done, no communication to the family. And Honorable Speaker, the government on this case have not done anything. A young widow, 23 years, was left with a 6-month-old child. I want to ask what support or compensation is given to this family, and what is to be done to these police officers, Honorable Speaker, who shoot indiscriminately. It is not fair. It is not fair to misuse the firearms, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to ask one or two questions.
Only one.
One question dealing with the administrative units, Honorable Speaker. When are the people of Kochua sublocation in Navajo sub-county getting their sub-chief who applied and was interviewed 2 years ago? And what are you doing on the Gazette notice dated 2018? I might not be able to quote the exact date, but it's 2018, allowing the 4 sublocations to be listed for the sub-chiefs. What are you doing about it? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mutuse.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is also in terms of operationalization, and I was wondering why we understand that for sub-locations and locations you require to recruit chiefs and sub-chiefs, and therefore there is a process. Why is it not possible for the divisions to deploy SECs who are working in the national government doing different duties to the ground? Because you can operationalize by just deploying existing SECs, and then the other things will follow later. Because if it is a matter of vehicles, we also know that there are SECs on the ground who do not have vehicles, and therefore you may just require to deploy as we wait for other things to accompany.
Okello.
Honorable Speaker, indulge and pardon my peripheral question, but this regards the hardship classification.
You will come to that later.
We'll come to that later. Right. Thank you.
Yes, Kikaria. We are dealing with operationalizing units.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
I have a very honorable Speaker. Mine is to ask Waziri what he's doing to the KWS officers who are refusing DCI to go and do investigation concerning the disappearance of one Brian Odhiambo in Lake Nakuru National Park, because the wardens are not allowing investigation to go on. Actually, every time the DCI wants to move in, they are denied access to the park. And it is a big concern, Honorable Speaker.
McClap. Then Minister after that.
Thank you.
You
Thank you,
answer
Mr.
them
Speaker.
as quickly as they were asked.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to to ask the Minister what is going to do so that the people of Baringo North, Saimosoi Ward, and Bartapa Ward can even have peace for 5 hours in a day, because we are being raided. Even this afternoon, why I came late, Mr. Speaker, there was raid at 3 o'clock. Up to now, I sit down here. The security forces have managed to recover the animals, and they are still pursuing 13 other cows left. What is the minister going to do so that the people of Baringo North can even have peace for 5 hours and the intimidation of our NBRs? So, Speaker, can the minister do that? Because he's been on the ground.
Members, can the minister respond to those? Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I'll try as fast as possible as requested. Honorable Robert Ngui Basil asked about the omitted constituencies in Yatta, and I wish to state as follows, Mr. Speaker. In the year 2017, the ministry gazetted the following administrative units in Yatta sub-county, which is locations are Kua, Shiokisinga, Mekilingi, Matingau, Kideuni, and sub-locations were Kua, Itidini, Kwandolo, Liani, Kaliani, Ngumbulu, Ngangani, Kikesan, and Kidito. Honorable Speaker, I'm aware that the residents had initiated the process of creation of administrative units in Yatta sub-county. However, the ministry received a petition from section of the residents of Ikombe division on 29th of January 2024, challenging the process of subdivision of administrative units. The petitioners alleged that the process was not participatory and not inclusive. As a result, Mr. Speaker, that issue is being dealt with, and as soon as we dispense with the petition, we will embark on operationalization. Mr. Speaker, on the Honorable Ferdinand Waititu, Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Waititu is somewhere else.
Mr. Speaker, Both are my friends.
Actually, Waititi
So,
is
Mr.
your
Speaker.
guest elsewhere.
Both are my friends.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, on my neighbor, Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, has asked a question that requires its own session for us to engage. The short answer to him is this, that as soon as I came to the ministry, one of the decisions I made was that we are going to reorganize the Kenya Police Reservists. Mr. Speaker, with a proper scheme of service, with defined payments. Mr. Speaker, the stipend should be properly determined. With, Mr. Speaker, command structure, because the problem we have, if you heard me when I was answering Honorable Kangogo, is that some of the NPR officers are actually misbehaving and they are loads on to themselves because they are not reporting to anybody, including, Mr. Speaker, when can you qualify to be an NPR, and at what stage can you retire from being an NPR? And, Mr. Speaker, getting them uniform. Mr. Speaker, in the areas where the NPRs are properly organized, Mr. Speaker, they're doing a fantastic job. We want to borrow from the rangers in some of the conservancies in the country where they have properly organized rangers. In my visit to Laikipia last week, I visited a few of the conservancies, and I learned something about how they are properly organizing the rangers, Mr. Speaker, because they are part of NPR. And we would like to extend that to our NPR, Mr. Speaker. This will be a very important policy framework established by this administration that, Mr. Speaker, should take care of our NPR. And if we organize them well, I have no doubt in my mind that, Mr. Speaker, we will have better results from the NPRs operating across the country, including creating a camp for them. So I will be seeking, once I'm ready to come back, either to the committee, and I want to thank the committee because of their report again. The chair is here on the issue of banditry, because that issue was also captured so that we make sure we deal with it. Mr. Speaker, on the Kenya Police, Mr. Speaker, on the question of Honorable Kwenya, again, let me say in brief, Mr. Speaker, because there are other members who have asked where is the list, who is coming first, based on the criteria I had announced earlier. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say that we will provide that list maybe perhaps to you or through the committee so that we can all of us track it. And I hope the interest that has been shown here on the administrative units, Mr. Speaker, will cause the entire House in consensus to get us resources to operationalize once and for all, so that there is no queue. There will be no someone being preferred or a constituency being preferred than the other. But, Mr. Speaker, you will realize that areas where we have the worst security situation, even if they were gazetted late, Mr. Speaker, we quickly operationalize those ones because, Mr. Speaker, we need them immediately to deal with the security issues. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Makali Mulu had asked the question of chief and sub-chiefs of those areas. I think it falls within the same issue.
Chief,
oh, yes, one chief and one
chief.
sub-chief. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think that is the part of the various constituencies are given the criteria earlier that where there is such an anomaly, you quickly operationalize those ones so that you don't have two people doing the same job in the same area. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Tongei also asked the same question, who is coming first? And again, I think that list can be provided. Honorable Farah Maalim, Mr. Speaker, spoken to the question of, Mr. Speaker, strategy, security strategy in the north, insofar as dealing with the, Mr. Speaker, the enemy across. Mr. Speaker, I do not wish to say we are not doing what he's saying, Mr. Speaker, because this is not the right forum to announce the strategies, our security strategies. But I will say his comments are noted, Mr. Speaker, and I'm sure it will be incorporated in the security strategies because we also work together with the elected leaders in the local area. Mr. Speaker, I agreed in dealing with the NPR issue. We are also in the policy asking ourselves whether some of the chiefs cannot be also licensed as NPR, so that, Mr. Speaker, they can carry, they can be able to carry guns. Some of them already do so in some parts of the country that I don't need to mention. But the problem also sometimes when you give the chief these guns in some serious security areas, unfortunately they become a subject of target, particularly for the sake of the gun itself. So there's a flip side of the same argument. But we will be dealing with this. Already the chiefs are already trained. They have parliamentary training, but we will be enhancing this. The policy also talks to the question of NPR. Can you train them once, give them ammunition, and then leave them? Or they should undergo refresher training after so often a certain period of time that can be established again. That will also apply to the chiefs once we decide that these are the chiefs that will be licensed gun carriers. In any case, other civilians carry guns. So that's not a unique thing, including members of parliament, those who have been licensed to carry a firearm. So it's not a unique thing to say a chief is licensed to carry a firearm. Mr. Speaker, another issue that I'd like to say is Honorable Nicholas Ngikor Nixon Ngikolong has asked a question, Mr. Speaker, about special forces to fight banditry. Mr. Speaker, when the need arises, Mr. Speaker, for that, you wonder if you were to create a special force to deal with banditry, Mr. Speaker, or cattle rustling, which affects more than half of the country, as you all know, from Lamu to Entebbe, Mr. Speaker, that is more than half of the nation in terms of land size. If you were to create another special force, Mr. Speaker, then what will the police be doing? So I think already we have other special forces like the one for livestock, that is ASTU. Mr. Speaker, you have the GSU, we have all these formations. I think, Mr. Speaker, we should spend our time now to resource the police. And Mr. Speaker, I request that we continue supporting the National Police Service in the modernization program. What was done in the last 1.5 years in modernization, getting the MRAPs, giving them protective gear and so forth, has really borne results. But this plan was to go on for 4 years. Mr. Speaker, in this financial year, because of financial constraint, that plan has slowed. I would like to request that we support the plan to resource the police officers. As I have promised here, we are going to also use modern technology, particularly the drones, Mr. Speaker, that will help us in surveillance and will answer the question of Honorable McClap as to what else can we do in the affected areas like Loruk and other places. If we can enhance by having better surveillance using drones, I think we are going to be able to use fewer police officers, but greater response when technology is applied. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Naisula, that's also why we cannot prioritize the question of security considerations when operationalizing these, Mr. Speaker, administrative units. Again, as I said, that is our consideration number one. And Mr. Speaker, considering what's going on in Samburu at the moment, Mr. Speaker, that remains our priority number one, to do as much as we can to take government closer to the people and make sure that, Mr. Speaker, and that should be done as well for TRT constituency, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that government is closer to where the source of some of this banditry, both in Samburu, TRT, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot, and other parts. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Cherorot mentioned something very important here. Maybe as very few people know that, there is an administrative structure in the counties, and you know this very well, Mr. Speaker, because we drafted this law while we were in the Senate to create village councils for the counties. As a result of that law, very few counties have operationalized the village council. It's only Samburu that I know that they have the village council. And Mr. Speaker, in the national government, we are trying to propose the village elder and see how that village elder can work together with the administrative units, while at the same time, there is the village council that is in county governments. And because of resource constraints, counties are unable to create the village council because it's more than 10 people who are called to establish this village council. During this process of looking at this village elders issue, that issue needs to be harmonized, and that law, together with the village elders issue, needs to be harmonized so that we can benefit from the resource. It also needs to be harmonized with the Nyumba Kumi strategy, so that we know where the village elder will be in the structure of the Nyumba Kumi, so that this can work properly to provide resources. So I look forward also to all of us providing this solution, both in terms of our friend, the late Honorable Malulu Njendi's proposal, which shall be progressed by members of this House in the way you will guide, Mr. Speaker, and also in the regulations we are still working on the rest of the administrative units to see if that can be achieved. Mr. Speaker, I think this covers the same question of Honorable Amuha Mohammed she was asking on the NPR attack of the NPR. Again, Mr. Speaker, you know that these criminals from neighboring country target the NPR because they are targeting the guns and the ammunition, Mr. Speaker. And they know that the NPR have been very, very instrumental in dealing with this crime, Mr. Speaker. And they know that the NPR know the local routes that they are using. So unfortunately, our NPR were attacked this period. You know, Mr. Speaker, how these terrorist groups operate. They look for significant period of time for them to do something that is significant. And Mr. Speaker, why there was heightened activity around Ramadan is because the intelligence report was already there that they wanted to take advantage of Ramadan period. And we are always alert in anniversaries that other attacks have happened in the past because we know they would like to use those opportunities to make a statement and instill fear in the country. And as I said earlier, our security forces are up to the task. Unfortunately, because of these targeted chiefs and the NPR, we have lost some of them, and a few of them also have found themselves in the other part in Somalia. And Mr. Speaker, everything is being done to address this issue. On the question of my friend Honorable Parashina, it's the same. I think he wanted transparency on the distribution of the ones that are being operationalized now and those that will come after. And the question is still the same. As I said, the information will be given. This is another issue that Honorable Pukose has raised. And I will revisit it down here, and maybe I combine it together with, maybe I'll revisit that. We have a problem with, Mr. Speaker, police vehicles and administrative units, vehicles for our administrators across the country. And at the moment, there is an acute shortage because as we continue operationalizing, there are chiefs that don't have motorbikes. There are SCCs that don't have a vehicle. They don't even have a motorbike. There are sub-county DCCs who don't have also vehicles and so forth. Mr. Speaker, in the leasing program for the police, this applies also to the police officers. There are many police stations that don't have vehicles because either the leasing period ended or their vehicles were destroyed. For example, the case of Laikipia. The police commander's vehicle was banned by some people pretending to be protesting and making a statement that they are of a particular generation. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, they banned the vehicle of the county commander. The county commander now doesn't have a vehicle even to respond to issues of banditry because of that. There is a leasing program that we are working on with the Ministry of Treasury, and again we will bring this proposal to Parliament for the next financial year. Part of it needs to be supported to make sure that we increase the number of vehicles. We are targeting 5,000 so that some are given to our Ngao officers and some are given to the police stations. Again, we would like to see these police stations properly operating and having proper vehicles for proper response. With this equipment, as I said earlier, we will have a greater response. So, Honorable Pukose, we were hoping that by July, August, this leasing program would have worked and the vehicles be delivered, and I hope we will be able to do so that we increase mobility of our security forces. Honorable Hassan, I'm aware, and I'm sure we discussed with you the question of Majengo insecurity. Unfortunately, during an operation that was meant to flush out gangs that were dealing with drugs, that operation went wrong at some point, and 2 people lost their lives. The investigations are ongoing. Since I did not know you were going to ask this question now, I'd like to go back to the NPS, National Police Service, to find out exactly how far the investigation is and what has been done so far. But I was aware, and I'm still aware, that there was that incident of Kamkunji, and we want to work on it. But I want to thank Honorable Hassan for one thing, that in his constituency, one of the things we enjoy from his constituency is the Nyumba Kumi system, and the business communities especially. They work closely with the security team. The IG was there for Iftar the other day, and we work closely with the local community. And because of that, the local community work with National Police, security has been improved in general in Kamkunji and a number of the constituencies in Nairobi. We would like to work closer with the people. We not want to have this kind of acrimony with the citizens even if we are doing police operations, and we'll be becoming more, ensuring that our officers are well versed with the operational procedure that protect the rights of the people. Again, on Honorable Kemei's question, since I did not know whether it was going to be raised now, it's important again to know that that is a known case. The police officer is known. The person who was shot is known. The police officer is a bodyguard to one of the citizens. I think I will give you perhaps a proper response as to how far the investigations are going and when the officer will be charged, if that will be the direction we'll go. Unfortunately, we have no compensation scheme for victims of that kind of attack. But we advise that once an officer has been found culpable, the family can institute civil suit to institute compensation for the citizen that has been attacked. I think Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe was also asking administrative units that were gazetted in 2018. That applies to the 2017, 2021, 2022. It falls for all of them. Again, as I said earlier in the general question, that we have a phased out operationalization, and that's why members are asking which is coming first this year. And we hope that in the budget, we're asking about 2.5 billion to operationalize everything. And I think at that point, I can combine that question with the question from my friend, Honorable Mutuse, that the reason why we are unable to post deputy county commissioners in some places and the assistant county commissioner is because, one, it is not just enough that the officer has already been hired and they are earning salary elsewhere. You need resources for operational resources, operational budget that allows them to move, to do meetings and so forth. But also, you need the AIE. The other thing is that they need offices. So in some instances, the divisions were gazetted, but there's no office. So you need to work together. And some members of parliament have come to us and said, I am going to use CDF to build the offices, and we appreciate that partnership that we have. Some have even said they use money from their pocket to hire an office for the ACC just for them to start the work because of security concerns. And some of these counties like Baringo and others are having acute security needs. And the members of parliament have been of great support, including Honorable McLeod here. And then we have the question of vehicles. So that I said they may not also have the vehicles for movement. So it's not enough just to gazette. You have to provide a budget for this operationalization. Finally, Honorable Kikaria, before I come to, yes, I think that was Honorable Kikaria and McLeod. The second last question is Honorable Kikaria. I was in Nakuru with Honorable Kikaria for a function on mobile registration and free issuance of IDs to people who are taking their IDs for the first time. And Mr. Speaker, the mother of Brian Odhiambo confronted me on the question as to investigation related to her husband. It's a very unfortunate case. I do not want to jeopardize investigations, Mr. Speaker, or prejudice the prosecution that will follow. But it is true, Mr. Speaker, that investigation was done. The KWS officers created inordinate delay, denied the DCI officers proper access in time to enter the park. I do not know why they were protecting them and what was happening to the life of Brian Odhiambo. But Mr. Speaker, the good news is that the DCI, at the stage of which he had reached with his report, was convinced that it was enough for the DPP to take action. The file is already with DPP, and Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt that's an independent office. I cannot order the DPP on what to do with the file, but I have been assured by the office of the DPP that prosecution is in the offing, and therefore we shall be able to fulfill our promise to the mother of Brian Odhiambo that justice will be done in this very case, Mr. Speaker, and other similar cases where citizens are facing such kind of attack. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I don't know, Honorable McLeod was here, but just for me to repeat that the troubling areas, including what I talked about, Kaben and Endo, location in Marakwet, Moron in Tiatich, that part, the border, and your constituency, the only very troubling place is Soy Mosoi location, Mr. Speaker, in Loruk. And Mr. Speaker, this is not a fight for livestock only. Mr. Speaker, as I tell you, there is a combination of factors. If you go even to Samburu, Mr. Speaker, the issues of disguised as cattle rustling is not only for stealing livestock, it's also for pushing administrative boundaries between communities, Mr. Speaker. And that is the case, as a matter of fact, in Loruk, Mr. Speaker. In Loruk, there is a conflict between communities as to where they want to sort out the question of administrative boundaries. In the process, Mr. Speaker, they disguise it as stealing of livestock. That is why that attack has been going on. We have a strategy of dealing with it, Mr. Speaker. We know that the NPR, some of whom were subjected to investigation, their arms were taken, Mr. Speaker, but we promised that before the end of this week, it will be returned. It was taken for ballistic investigations. But I want to thank the NPR for doing a fantastic job together with the police. Mr. Speaker, I promised the Member of Parliament that I have a strategy on what we need to deal with there. We have a strategy as a ministry on what to do there. National Police have a strategy. We will deal with that corner and the other corner in the border of Marakwet and Tiatich. And also now Samburu, which is the troubling place, Mr. Speaker, at the moment. Mr. Speaker, on the same issue, the Member of Parliament is asking whether we are doing recovery. Mr. Speaker, you must thank. You know, in all these reports that we get, people don't thank our police officers because we are doing more than 90% of recovery. More than 90% in all the attacks that have happened in the recent past. In all these cases, whether it is in Samburu, whether it is in Baringo, whether it is in Elgeyo Marakwet or West Pokot, there has been nearly 90%, and like Kipia as well, there's been nearly 90% of recovery. In some instances, in some cases, 100%. And we said that as long as you continue making these recoveries and facing these bandits, Mr. Speaker, we will make it very painful for them because, Mr. Speaker, they do not benefit from their acts. Unfortunately, in that area of Loruk, we have lost two lives, Mr. Speaker, the chief and a resident of Loruk also who was attacked. But we want to make sure that we work so hard to minimize loss of life, Mr. Speaker. But thieves will always be there, here and there. But if our police officers are going to be as alert as they have been, we can make it painful for them and eventually either arrest or, Mr. Speaker, they die in line of duty, because what will the police do when they're facing a person who has a gun?
That will do.
I think, Mr. Speaker, I think that is all. Mr.
Minister,
Mr. Speaker, including today, we are going to recover all the livestock. Thank you.
Take your seat. Members, order. Mandazi. Order.
Sorry, I didn't answer the Honorable Mandazi's question. No wonder.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think that's the only.
Yes, Mandazi.
Yes,
yeah,
Mr.
we are
Speaker.
going to that.
Mr. Speaker, he had asked about the overlap of his constituency. Part of his constituency is in Bomet Central. Mr. Speaker,
I think you to realign the
I think
boundaries.
it is what is important is to get in constituencies and counties like Bomet, where they don't face the challenge that Honorable Maklap and Honorable Kamket have in Loruk and other places, where there is a consensus between the two constituencies and they know their constituency boundaries. There is no reason why we should not align them to either side. So if I can get, we can get specific petition on this area, Mr. Speaker, we can send our officers to the ground to make sure that this issue is sorted in Bomet County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members, you know we have Division of Revenue Bill pending. I want to very quickly take 029, 031, 032, and 33 in quick succession. Minister, be ready to answer them in the shortest time possible. Yes, Tongoyo. You are the chairman of the Committee on Security.
Yeah, just going to take a minute, actually. Honorable Speaker, I just want to inform the House It has actually been, of course, Honorable Speaker, it has been confirmed that the issue of sub-counties or administrative unit generally is a big thing to almost every member here. You remember it has been a question that keeps coming every other time, and immediately we break for recess, we had the opportunity to interrogate the ministry. In fact, we took almost an hour and a half just singling out on this subject. Honorable Speaker, from their own minister statement and his own words, the whole big problem is about money. And I think he made it very clear that the ministry needs about 2.5 billion to operationalize the already pending units. And Honorable Speaker, you know we had already had the BPS. And I want to confirm, actually not contradicting the minister, that as it is, we may not still have the money. So we may lament this year, another year, because until we get the money to do this. And this is the house that appropriate the money. You know that was the plea Honorable Speaker was making. So what I'm saying,
you are in the new budget cycle, so you should focus on the
next what I'm saying is, unless we look something like a Kamkunji, the way we prioritize CDF, we will still having the same problem every other time. No, I'm Honorable Speaker, employing to this house. We should look away, even if it means we have a Kamkunji a bit, look away, we mobilize resources so that we sort this problem once and for all.
Minister, what you will probably do is send to my office send to my office a complete list of all the gazetted administrative units at all levels, and you can do a matrix where you indicate those that are operationalized recently, those that are not, and the expected time of operationalization, those that have a long haul to wait, so that when we now engage the budget committee, we can see how best we can be able to assist. Because seeing the mood in the House, everybody has an issue about administration units, literally everybody. And going forward, Minister, as a matter of administration reforms that you need to undertake. Under Article 6 of the Constitution, dependence and interdependence of the various levels of government. The layers of administration units out there. You have a village administrator, you have an ACC, you have counties, you sub-county administrator, the county, you have the sub-county commissioners. You'll find you have layers of county administrators and national government administrators doing the same thing, drawing money from the same purse. So you need also to engage COG and county units to see how to harmonize, cut down on costs, and be more effective in having administrative units work. Because I've never quite understood why you have a chief and a village administrator doing the same thing in the same area of jurisdiction. Ward admins and ACCs and all those. Maybe part of your reforms, you can also look at that so that you can be able to assist. Ivo Bara, ask your question. After Ivo Bara, we have Daniel Manduku. After Manduku, Peter Mbogo, then Peter Nablindo. If we can be done by 6:30 so that we go to the next order. After that, I'll give Jared Okello to prosecute his pet subject of hardship areas. Okay. 1 minute only. Go on, Eve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 42A, 6B, I wish to ask the following question. Could the Cabinet Secretary state the measures taken by the Ministry to enhance safety and security of residents in Atela location in Kabondo Kasipul constituency, particularly in light of the recent surges of violence incidents, including the murder of Mr. Kennedy Odhiambo, a resident of Kolal village, who was fatally shot in the chest by an arrow while on patrol near Sondu Old Bridge on the 30th of January 2025. Number two, Mr. Joseph Othim Amora, age 43, who was murdered at his home in Kolondo village on the 30th of January 2025. The other one is Mr. Peter Okello, Odao, age 60 years, who was attacked and killed in his home over a boundary dispute on the 3rd of February 2025, and attempted stock theft, which was reported in Kawere village, where two individuals, Ms. Milka Owio and Mr. Tony Owio, were injured by arrows during the incident on the 2nd of January 2025. Mr. Speaker, could the CS provide an update on investigations into the murders and steps being taken to apprehend the suspects involved? 2, would the CS state the steps taken to address the underlying issues contributing to violence and conflict in the region, particularly concerning land and boundary disputes? And three, could the CS outline the collaborative efforts being made with community leaders and local organizations to foster peace and security in the affected areas? Thank you.
The next question.
Thank you. Could the Cabinet Secretary explain the status of gazettement and deployment of security personnel to Ichuni Police Station in Ichuni Ward, Nyaribari Masava constituency, which is in Masava South sub-county? 2, could the Cabinet Secretary please state the steps taken by the ministry to address the operationalization of the police station, considering that residents have to travel long distances up to Ramasha Police Station, which is at the end of the constituency, to access police services, leading to delays in addressing security concerns? Thank you very much.
Question number 32. The Honorable Peter Mbogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide a report on the status of investigation into the incidences of insecurity, such as Mrs. Mariana Shali Chow of ID number 278-97833, who was found dead at a satellite site around Rianchore hillside with multiple cut wounds? 2, Mr. Silas Silo Mengo Mwachanga, a border rider who was found dead on 28th May 2024, and Mr. Sylvans Mwanjala Mvoi of ID number 370-23429, who was attacked and severely injured on 2nd September 2024 within Sagala Ward in Taita Taveta County. Could the CS state the actions being taken to ensure the perpetrators of the crimes are arrested and prosecuted without delay? 2, could the CS outline measures put in place to curb insecurity in the region? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question number 33 of 2025. The Member of Parliament for Matungu. Is Honorable Peter Nabulindo there?
I'm here.
I give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to ask the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration whether he could provide a report on the status of investigations into the insecurity incidents which occurred in Koyonzo Market, where 2 security guards were brutally murdered and assorted goods stolen, raiding of several shops in Matungu Township, and a trader killed in the process. Attack on the residents of Namalasire and Namamari areas, and incidences of robberies in the market centers reported in Matungu constituency. Secondly, whether the minister could expound on actions being taken to ensure that the perpetrators of the crimes in the constituency are arrested and prosecuted. 3, whether the cabinet secretary could state the immediate steps being taken by the government to address insecurity in the constituency, including provision of additional facilities and equipment to the police stations. 4, whether the cabinet secretary could outline the long-term strategies being put in place to curb insecurity in the constituency. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
CS, we have moved that way because we have some urgent business to transact after this one. You may now respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to respond as follows to the question number 29 of 2025 by Honorable Ivo Bara. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to respond as follows. On the measures taken by the Ministry to enhance the safety and security of residents, Mr. Speaker, the government has implemented the following measures to enhance security in Kabondo Kasipul constituency. Increased police patrols and visibility, strengthening both foot and mobile patrols to deter criminal activities while maintaining a strong police presence in key areas such as residential estates, marketplaces, and transport hubs. Fast-tracking of investigations, ensuring that timely handling of all reported cases would prompt legal action against perpetrators to deter future offenses and enhance public confidence in law enforcement. Enhanced crime reporting mechanism, encouraging the communities to share critical intelligence anonymously via Fichua DCI toll-free hotline 0800-722-203, guaranteeing confidentiality and safety of all the whistleblowers. Mr. Speaker, number 4, revitalization of community policing committees, revitalizing inactive community police committees to strengthen collaboration between the police and the local community, promoting real-time information sharing and early detection of security threats. Cross-border community collaboration. The National Police Service has strengthened the cross-border community engagement to combat cattle rustling in the region that is a source of insecurity. This initiative enhances intelligence sharing and promotes peaceful coexistence between communities. Mr. Speaker, I have had this conversation with the governor of that county before, and I told him I don't understand why people who are residing and living together and everybody having a title deed should engage in cattle rustling. It is a practice that is found in corners, marginalized areas. I think this is something that really we need to deal with because Kisumu is at the heart of areas that are fairly developed in the country. This is really an issue that still bothers me, and I'll be going with the honorable member to the ground to find out exactly why neighboring communities still steal livestock from themselves. And I hope the government, the county governments can change also the breeds so that, Mr. Speaker, we should not be having those ones that are running very fast and can easily be stolen and hidden there. Mr. Speaker, we have also community engagement. There is regular public forums, barazas, and this is where also community members, local leaders, elected leaders can help us in conflict resolution, and this is where I promise that we should have a baraza together among the communities. Regarding an update on the investigation into the reported murder cases, I wish to respond as follows. On the case of Mr. Kennedy Odhiambo, Mr. Speaker, sir, on 20th January 2025, at approximately 23 hours, Kennedy Owino Odhiambo, a 45-year-old male, was near his homestead in Gangondo village, Kadumos East sublocation in the company of others when unknown assailants launched an arrow at the group. The arrow struck Kennedy Odhiambo on the right side of his chest, fatally injuring him. The attackers fled the scene and their identities remain unknown. For the following day, on 21st of January 2025, at 0211 hours, the incident was reported to Othoro Police Station by Peris Muga, chief of Atela location, and booked VIDE OB number 032101 of 2025 in the same station. The officer commanding the station in Othoro, along with DCI personnel from Rachuonyo East County, sub-county, found the deceased lying lifeless with an arrow still lodged in his chest. DCI officers from Rachuonyo East sub-county processed and documented the crime scene before transferring the body to Bethlehem morgue for further examination. A post-mortem examination confirmed that the cause of death was injury sustained from the arrow attack. The suspect remained at large. The investigations are ongoing with efforts to apprehend those who are responsible. Mr. Speaker, on the murder of Mr. Peter Okello Odawa, on 3rd February 2025, at approximately 1840 hours, Peter Okello Odawa, a 60-year-old male, was slashing grass within his compound in Kamwagi village, Kodumu West sublocation, when he was attacked by two individuals, namely Eric Okoth alias Mzee and Ibrahim Jacob Onyango. The suspects, who are the deceased's nephews, fatally injured him due to family land boundary dispute. The attack left the deceased with 2 deep cuts on the head and chin, as well as fractures on both wrists. Joseph Ndege, chief of Ramba location, reported the murder incident to the OCS, Othoro Police Station. Detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, Rachuonyo East, to process the scene. The incident was officially booked via OB number 30/3/2 of 2025 at Othoro Police Station. The body was transferred to Jawabu Funeral Home for a post-mortem examination. The post-mortem examination was performed at the Jawabu Funeral Home, confirming that the cause of death was directly linked to the injuries sustained during the attack. Police successfully arrested one of the suspects, Eric Okoth Odera, alias Mzee, on 6th February 2025, while his accomplice, Ibrahim Jacob Onyango, remains at large. Eric Okoth Odera was arraigned in Homa Bay High Court and charged with murder under criminal case number 688/7/225 and High Court criminal case 07/2025. Efforts to locate and arrest the second suspect, Ibrahim Jacob Onyango, continue, with police actively tracking his whereabouts to ensure he faces murder charges in court. The murder of Joseph Othimo Amora. The Speaker, on the night of 30th January 2025, unknown individuals gained entry into the house of Joseph Othimo Mora, a 43-year-old male residing in Kolondo village, Kodumo East, where he lived alone. The assailants brutally attacked him, inflicting deep cuts on his belly, exposing his intestines, and killing him on the spot. The motive behind the murder remains unknown. On the 31st of January 2025, at 0550 hours, Peris Muka, chief of Atela location, reported the murder to Othoro Police Station and booked via OB number 033001/2025. Police officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, Rachuonyo East, visited the scene, processed and documented the evidence, and initiated investigations. The body was later transferred to Bethlehem morgue for a post-mortem examination, which confirmed that he succumbed to his injuries resulting from the attack. No arrests have been made so far, and the case remains under active investigation as the police work to establish the motive and the identity of the attackers. Attack of Mitka Odhiambo in Sondu area. On that January 2025, at 0120 hours, the police officers, while on mobile patrol within Sondu area, received information that a group of unknown youth suspect to have crossed over from Kericho and entered Kisumu County with the intent to steal livestock. They passed by the house of Milka Odhiambo, a 53-year-old female, where they launched violent attack. Milka was shot in the mouth with an arrow, while her 22-year-old son, Tony Owiyo, was shot in the lower abdomen, with the arrow remaining lodged in his body. Upon the victims raising an alarm, the attackers fled the scene without stealing anything. Following the distress call, police responded and the victims were rushed to Nyabondo Mission Hospital, where they were admitted in fair condition. The incident was booked OB number 23/1 of 225 in Ogoro Police Station. An investigation commenced, which led to the arrest of 3 suspects: Dennis Kipruto, Kemboy, Jeremiah Kipkorir Kosgei, alias Kiptangus, and Geoffrey Kibet Chirchir. The suspects were arraigned in Oyugi's law court under CR 662125, court file number MCCR E109-2025, and CR 68822/22/2025, court file number MCCR EL10/2025. The police continue to investigate the matter, and efforts are ongoing to determine whether other suspects were involved in the attack. On the strategies put in place to address underlying issues, Mr. Speaker, the following strategies have been employed to address underlying issues contributing to violence and conflict in the region. Mr. Speaker, is the peace initiatives are ongoing in the region. Number two, Mr. Speaker, is making appeals to the National Land Commission to resolve historical land injustices, which is a major cause of conflict in some of the, in part of the areas, including that are caused murder of communities, people from these communities. The collaborative efforts being made within the community, Mr. Speaker, the following collaborative efforts have been employed to foster peace and security in the affected areas. Security agencies and the county government are collaborating in conducting a security intelligence committee within the county, with county leadership representation, dealing with the county challenges and to have effective strategies. There is also community partnership and involvement, and also working together with non-governmental organizations in the area to do for humanitarian assistance, and also economic empowerment programs together with peace initiatives. Mr. Speaker, on the question number 31, which is by Member of Parliament of Nyaribari Masaba, Honorable Manduku. The Speaker, part one is on the status of gazettement and deployment of security personnel to Ichuni Police Station in Ichuni Ward. Mr. Speaker, Ichuni Police Station is a community-driven initiative developed in collaboration with the area Member of Parliament to address security concerns in the area. The local police commander has been directed to submit their logistical and personnel requirement to facilitate the operationalization and gazettement of the station, so that the honorable member, Mr. Speaker, cannot be accused like another citizen who built his own police station. Mr. Speaker, whereas we appreciate the good initiative, we are now working to make sure that that is also operationalized, because that is on a light note. This is a community initiative together with the Member of Parliament. Number two, Mr. Speaker, regarding the steps being taken to address operationalization of the police station, Mr. Speaker, the National Police Service will be considering the following requirements for the establishment and operationalization of the police station. One, land ownership, confirmation of whether land ownership has been transferred to the service to avoid ownership dispute in the future. Two, personnel requirement. The local police commander has been directed to forward the number of personnel needed for the operationalization of the police station for consideration and deployment. Number three, utilities, confirmation on the availability of essential services such as water, electricity supply to support daily operation effectively. Four, accommodation, confirm availability of housing for the police officers. Five, furniture, confirm that the station has been furnished. And six, infrastructural design, confirmation that the station structure meets the standard design stipulated in the service standing order, which includes reception area, valuable exhibit store, radio room, OCS office, deputy OCT office, petty crimes office, record office, OC traffic office, general office, petty crime office, interrogation office, cell with a proper sanitation, exhibit store, and sufficient ablution facilities, among others. Mr. Speaker, the question from the Member of Parliament of Mwatate, Honorable Mbogo. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to respond as follows. Regarding a report on the status of investigation into the incidences of a murder of Marian Onsarigo. Mr. Speaker, on April 29 of 2024, Ms. Marian Onsarigo, aged 34, was reported missing by her husband, police officer number 255611, Police Constable PC Stephen Onsarigo Mokwa of Kamachira Police Station, Madioya Sub-County. She was last seen in the evening hours of Rice Trading Center in Sameta Sub-County in Kisii County. On May 1st, 2024, at 17 hours, the Assistant Chief of Rogo Location, Mr. Latif Oyoro, reported the discovery of a dead body in Quarry within Rigo Location, approximately 10 kilometers south of the police station. Officers from Sameta Police Station, including the officer commanding station and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, visited the scene and discovered a body of a female victim identified as Ms. Marian Onsarigo, lodged between large rocks in Deep Valley Quarry. The body had visible injuries, including deep open wound under the armpit, both lower legs fractured, and a deep cut on the left elbow. Later, the husband and the deceased PC Stephen Onsariko Mokua, Police Constable Stephen Onsariko Mokua, arrived at the scene and confirmed the identity of his wife. He stated that she had been missing since April 29, 2024, and he was only informed that afternoon about her death. The crime scene officers processed and documented the scene before moving the body to Lenmek Hospital morgue for further examination. The case is currently under investigation via the inquest file number 6 of 2025 by the Sameta Sub-County Criminal Investigation Officer, with no arrests made at the attempt. Murder of Ms. Silas Silo Mengo Mwachango. Mr. Speaker, on May 21st, 2024, Ms. Silas Silo Mengo Mwachango, a border rider, was found dead. The incident was reported at Voi Police Station via OP number 15/1/5 of 2024 by a member of the public at approximately 5 p.m. The report indicated that lifeless body has been discovered at a sisal farm along Voi Mwatate Road, about 5 kilometers from the police station. Police officers responded to the scene, which was processed and documented. Preliminary investigation revealed that the victim had been hired by an unidentified individual who later attacked and fatally injured him before stealing his motorcycle. No arrests made at the moment in connection to the incident. The case remains under active investigation. Mr. Speaker, on the murder of Mr. Silas Sylvans Mwajalam Voi, on September 3, 2024, a report was made at Voi Police Station under OB number 15/3/9/2024 regarding an attack on the Sylvans Mwajalam Voi, ID number 370234429. The incident occurred on September 2, 2024 within Sagala Ward, Taita Taveta County. The report was filed by the victim brother, who stated that Mr. Mvoi, border rider, had been found unconscious by the roadside along the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. A good Samaritan rushed him to Moi County Referral Hospital in critical condition. Medical assessment revealed that he had sustained a deep cut on the head and chest injuries. Due to the severity of his injuries, he was later referred to Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center in Tanzania for intensive care. Police officers from Voi Police Station responded to the scene, conducted documentation, and established that the victim had been robbed of his motorcycle registration number KMGN09G. The victim later succumbed to his injuries on September 9, 2024, while undergoing treatment in the same facility. No arrests had been made in relation to the murder, but, Mr. Speaker, the case remains very active and under investigation by our police officers. On the actions being taken to ensure perpetrators are arrested and prosecuted, Mr. Speaker, the above murder cases remain under active investigation, with witness statements recorded to aid further inquiries. Members of the public who may have crucial information that could assist in identifying and apprehending the suspects have been encouraged to voluntarily report to the police. To ensure their safety, they may also provide information anonymously at the police station. Regarding the measures being put in place to curb insecurity in the region, Mr. Speaker, the following measures have been put in place. Again, increased police patrols and visibility, sustained the crackdown on the re-emergence of criminal gangs in the region. Mr. Speaker, as I stated earlier, in the All Coast region, we are doing massive operations to deal with gangs, resurgence of those gangs. Enhanced crime reporting mechanism, encouraging the community to share critical intelligence anonymously via Fichua Kwa DCI, hotline number 0800-722-203, while maintaining confidentiality and protecting whistleblowers. Mr. Speaker, revitalization of community policing committees is also one of the strategies, and community engagement. Finally, Mr. Speaker, is the question from Member of Parliament of Matungu, Honorable Peter Nabulindo. Mr. Speaker, on part one of his question regarding a report on the status of investigation into the security incident on murder of 2 security guards, Mr. Speaker, at the night of March 30, 2024, 2 security guards, John Nyabola, 62-year-old, and Humphrey Muyomi, 55 years old, both employees of Major Oduk Security Firm, reported for duty to guard shops within Kanyonzo Market in Matungu Sub-County. That night, they were brutally attacked and murdered by unknown assailants who dragged their bodies into a market store to conceal the crime. The criminals then broke into a shop owned by Charles Opondo and stole assorted goods of an unknown value. The next day, on March 31st, 2024, Trader discovered the bodies and reported the incident to Kayonso Police Station, which was booked via OB number 4/31/3 of 2024. Police officers responded immediately and visited the scene. However, upon learning of the gruesome murder, members of the public became rowdy and stormed the police station, pelting stones. In the chaos that they partially burned a police vehicle, a Toyota Land Cruiser registration number GK056V, broke into the police office house and stole property of an unknown value. Some of the stolen property was later set ablaze on the main highway to Busia. To restore order, enforcement was called in, allowing police officers to document the scene and transport the bodies to Bungoma Hospital mortuary for preservation. A postmortem was conducted on 5th of April, where the pathologist confirmed that both victims had died due to the excessive hemorrhage caused by blunt force trauma. Following the investigation, the police file was forwarded to the Office of Director of Public Prosecution, Western Region, for perusal and advice. On November 12, 2024, the ODPP returned the file via letter reference ODPP KK/CAM/2/0002/2013, highlighting certain gaps that needed to be addressed. Subsequently, on December 5, 2024, 2 robbery suspects were fatally shot after engaging in a series of robberies in Matungu and neighboring sub-counties. On an AK-47 rifle with 13 rounds of 7.6mm special ammunition was recovered, along with motorcycles that had previously been stolen from police officer in Butere sub-county who had been seriously injured during the robbery. Upon identification, the deceased suspects were confirmed to be Jack Machanja, 25-year-old, and Dan Philemon Anguch, 24 years old, both residents of Butere sub-county. Further investigation revealed that they were the same individual responsible for the murder of the 2 security guards at Kayonso Market on March 31st, 2024. The recovered AK-47 rifle and ammunition have since been forwarded to the Director of Criminal Investigation, Forensic Ballistic Examiner for analysis. The case remains under investigation. The murder of Charles Mukwana. Mr. Speaker, on February 26, 2025, on approximately 21 hours, a robbery and shooting incident at Matungu Shopping Center was reported by Collins Okumu and recorded in the occurrence book OP of Matungu Police Station entry number 35/26/2 of 2025. The officer commanding station OCS Matungu, along with his team, responded to the scene. The first victim, Kevin Chitai, reported that he had been robbed of the day sales amount to 50,000 shillings. The second victim, Boniface Miswaki, was also robbed at gunpoint but declined to disclose the exact amount stolen. The third victim, Charles Mukwana, resisted the robbers, prompting them to use violence. He was struck in the face with a sharp object and shot in the right thigh. He later succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment at St. Mary's Mission Hospital, Mumias, and his body was subsequently taken to hospital mortuary, where an autopsy was later conducted. On March 9, 2025, Hussein Sharif Moshen was arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of the trader and robberies that occurred on February 26, 2025 in Matungu, and was subsequently booked at Shianda Police Station. He was taken to court the following day, March 10, 2025, to answer the charges of robbery with violence. The case is pending before court. On the actions being taken to ensure the perpetrators of crime in their constituency are arrested and prosecuted, as you can notice, Mr. Speaker, and a good number of them have been arrested. In response to the escalating security in the region, a series of operations were launched aimed at identifying and dismantling the criminal syndicate responsible for terrorizing residents and business owners. These efforts led to the arrest and arraigning in court of key suspects. On March 10, 2025, a multi-agency security team apprehended 6 individuals linked to robberies in the area. Yusuf Ekumba Hashio, Sharif Musungu Chebi, Jafar Odongo Kirato, Muksin Okwalo, Gerald Joseph Khadima, and Abdallah Kubasu Nandai. During investigation, it was determined that Gerald Joseph Kadima was implicated in the murder of Simon Owoi Toloi, a case already pending before High Court in Kakamega. He was subsequently presented before court for a plea hearing on 20th March. You can notice, Mr. Speaker, these are people who are out on bail. and then went again to commit murder a second time, robberies a second time. An identification parade was conducted on March 19, 2025, during which a witness, Lindet Ingaisum Beach, positively identified Yusuf Ekumba Hachio, also known as Farouk, as the individual who had dispossessed her of her mobile phone. On March 25, 2025, Yusuf Ekumba Hachio was formally charged with robbery with violence under Section 29, as read in Section 296, together with Section 2962 of the Penal Code. The case remains pending before court. Regarding the immediate steps being taken to address insecurity in the constituency, it is the same as the Speaker to the other incidences I have read, which include issues to do with patrols and visibility, fast-tracking investigation, enhanced crime reporting mechanism through Fichua DCI, engaging the community. These are common across areas that we want to enhance matters of safety, Mr. Speaker. Regarding a long-term strategy being put in place to curb insecurity within the constituency, again the same. We want to work on the revitalization of community policing committees, sustain the crackdown on re-emergence of criminal gangs in the region. Mr. Speaker, Matungu is the constituency I talked about, Mr. Speaker, where some criminals are roaming around with elected and aspiring politicians, pretending to provide political support and cover. Mr. Speaker, we will sustain the operation. This is part of the operation. You saw the results is to deal with the robberies, but other, Mr. Speaker, is to deal with these gangs that are hiding behind political action and political support. And Mr. Speaker, Matungu and a few of other places in Western Butere, in Kakamega counties, and a part of Bungoma, and as I said earlier, spilling over to also Trans Nzoia. Mr. Speaker, there are notorious political actors who, Mr. Speaker, are hiring young people and inducing them to commit crimes and violence, especially in funerals. And we are not going to condone this behavior, Mr. Speaker. And as I said, if it leads to any elected or aspiring politicians, we will not hesitate to charge them in a court of law. Mr. Speaker, and let me use this opportunity to thank our police officers, because from the time I requested them to take this issue seriously. A lot has been done in that region, and we will sustain the operations, Mr. Speaker. Security agents and county government collaboration is also extremely important, and regional and cross-county cooperation working together to make sure that we deal with these issues in our country. So, Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you, CS. Yes, I allowed you to proceed that way because there was satisfaction on the part of all the members who raised the questions as matters of concern. I have never seen any intervention from anybody. The Honorable Ivo Barra, you want to register your satisfaction or a clarification?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, CS, for your response. But I'd expected that you'd come up with a consideration for a stock theft special unit within the area. This particular area, Atela region, is the infamous, the Sondu, the Sondu issues that have been going on almost every other year. This is the area that we have Nyakach, which is Kisumu. We have Homa Bay, and we also have Kericho. And stock theft is just too much. And so please, can we have this special unit? And also, if possible, if you can have a patrol vehicle running around these three regions. This area is notorious, Mr. CS, and we need to do something to rein in the insecurity. Thank you. But otherwise, thank you very much for your response.
That one does not require your further response, CS. The Honorable Peter Nabulindo.
Mr. Speaker, first I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Cabinet Secretary for that detailed response. But as he had said earlier, he had already talked about Matungu even before I had put the question before the House. That means that Matungu has a problem that needs to be given a special consideration in terms of security interventions. But Mr. Speaker, I'm concerned about something that the minister actually said to the House, that he has sent some officers to the ground, that's in Matungu, to do some investigations. But I would like to bring to the attention of the Cabinet Secretary that the people, he could confirm, the people he sent on the ground, they have been doing what we call selective investigation, in that they have deliberately been targeting certain groups, and or, if I can be quite open in this House, Cabinet Secretary Waziri, the people you sent, I don't know if they are the ones doing this, the people you sent on the ground, they have been targeting actually my family members, my relatives, and my supporters. And the people have been wondering, why are these people targeting certain people, or who is using police officers to settle political scores? So, Minister, as far much as we appreciate that something is happening, but there is a lot of biasness and skewedness in those investigations. They have now turned to political investigations. Nevertheless, I am very appreciative that the minister is actually doing something for us as Matungu. But the biggest problem, please make sure that Matungu police stations get a vehicle. Matungu is too vast. We don't have a vehicle. Even the OCPD, even the OCS uses a motorbike to go for patrols at night. That is something that the minister needs to do. And we have not had a vehicle for years and years. We need a solution right now, Bwana Waziri. Thank you very much.
Honorable Nabulindo.
Quickly, let me say for Honorable Obara, we agree that we need to do something in Sondu, and we will, once we visit the ground and see the need for stock theft unit, we will make the necessary recommendations, Mr. Speaker. And then on the Honorable Nabulindo, I speak here, Mheshimiwa, on behalf of the IG, but the operational command of the IG is not subject to my direction to say that you target this person or the other. The main thing is to target the criminals. And the people of Kenya have expected us to sort out the issue of Matungu. You know very well that that place had become ungovernable, even during funerals. And it was becoming a monument of shame. If it happens that the people who have been arrested are known to you, family members, supporters, for as long as they're not involved in crime, there is no issue. They will not be harmed. They will not be charged. But if they are involved, they will all be rounded and charged, notwithstanding the fact that they are your family members or they are your supporters. And Mr. Speaker, I thank the MP for his positive approach to this issue, because he is appreciating of the efforts to deal with both robbers and these gangs that are operating and roaming across the country. I have no doubt in my mind that next time I visit Matungu, I will be going to a peaceful meeting together with the MP, and the place will have been properly in order and people will be operating freely. On the police cars, I had answered earlier while responding to the other questions that we have a problem across the country, and the police leasing program that we are working together with Treasury should be able to answer this problem, hopefully, by the beginning of next financial year, latest in August. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, the Honorable Daniel Manduku is satisfied with your response to question number 031, 2025. No, there is no further question or clarification. So is the Honorable Peter Mbogo to your response, with your response to question number 032 of 2025. Honorable members, these particular questions were specific to individual Kenyans, and as confirmed by the CS, most of them are either under investigations or with the courts. We are done with the questions. Are we saying you have matters you want to raise with the minister around the questions? I will allow only 3 of you 1 minute each because of the next business you have to transact. The Honorable Nzambia. Cabinet Secretary, you will indulge us. You can take the questions straight away so that they are addressed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to be very brief. Honorable Speaker, I had raised my concern a few minutes ago, and because the CS is here, my matter is not to be postponed. I think I need an instant answer. Honorable Speaker, I think Honorable CS, with your secretary there, you have my answer in your fingertips. I think I should leave home when I'm already satisfied, because it has been a weight matter, and this issue I raised last year, and it has taken more than 6 months, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Your matter was under which question?
Honorable Speaker, question number 026, Honorable Speaker.
You want to respond to it now, or we can create a forum for you and the member later?
Yes, I think the member is seeking further consultations, if I may, because I've answered it 3 times. To be very specific, this is a question of overlapping administrative units. The question is whether it is in Muka or Nzawi sub-county. So it's very specific and requires specific consultations. So I think we can take it up with the MP out of this chamber, because this is the 3rd or 4th time he's asking the same question.
Honorable Zambia, there can be no better solution in terms of addressing that matter, knowing how that committee operates, than what the Cabinet Secretary is offering. When the Cabinet Secretary is discharged, please follow him and get arrangements in terms of how you can better address it. If it is not so addressed, bring it back to the Committee on Administration and Internal Affairs. And I can assure you, your speaker sits there, we will satisfactorily help you pursue it on behalf of, those other Kenyans. The Honorable Jared Okelo.
I thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and for giving me the opportunity. The substantive speaker actually made an undertaking that I will be given an opportunity to prosecute a matter that is not directly linked to the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination, but under the spirit of complementarity and collective responsibility, the minister sits in a vantage position to answer or to lend a helping hand where necessary. Honorable Speaker, you are aware that the issue of classification of areas patterned along hardship and non-hardship areas has become my pet project. The last 3 months, we have been haggling with the majority leadership to have a report that was done by the government through a multi-agency committee, which was headed by one Mr. Sylvester Bolo in the Ministry of Public Service. They went across the country, and Ngao played a pivotal role towards that. And a report was actually done. The report is dubbed Review of Hardship Areas and Payment of Hardship Allowances. The report was ready by the year 2022. Now, the last 3 months, the substantive speaker has given directives, times more than number, to the majority leadership just to walk here at the office of the president and bring the report here. And I acknowledge now that we do not have a substantive minister for public service and a substantive principal secretary who has since been promoted. But as I said, it is a collective responsibility. Our very good minister, who is a very dear friend to me, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, a man known to this House, has the capacity to direct that particular department to just bring the report here. The report has categorized those areas that are needed, that are to be added onto the list of those that attract hardship allowances, Honorable Speaker. Without belaboring very much on this subject, my place is disenfranchised in many fronts. I have civil servants who report and immediately seek for transfers to other areas, because I sit in an area where my two neighbors, Nyakach and Muhoroni, are benefiting from hardship allowance. Nyando constituency is the only place known for its perennial flooding. In fact, we are known for Serikali Saidia mantra, but we have been sidelined up to this very moment. And a report, I believe, which I have not put my eyes on, has captured this very well. So let the minister help us get this report. And let me repeat for the record, it is dubbed Review of Hardship Areas and Payment of Hardship Allowances. The report is here with public service. The guy who headed the team, called Mr. Sylvester Bolo, has since retired, but he did not retire with the file. So let the file be brought before this House, be debated upon, and appropriate actions will ensue. I thank you. And I thank the Minister for braving the long hours today. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, does that fall within your mandate, and are you ready to respond to the question now?
Mr. Speaker, I understand the struggle that Honorable Member is going through, my friend, Honorable Okello, and I sympathize with his position. And because we were involved in the report as a part of GAO, and because of the principle of collective responsibility, and considering that the next CS is still sitting in this House, Mr. Speaker, I would offer, under that principle of collective responsibility, to push for the release of that report. Part of the reason is because, Mr. Speaker, I have received also petitions from across the country, from teachers especially, who are posted to certain areas that they consider it hardship, yet they do not benefit from the hardship allowance. So I think I will speak to the relevant officers within the government to make sure that this is pushed in good time. And we can also take up this conversation with Jared out of this place. I hasten to warn him that should the report require heavy budgetary expenditure, then it may require again a relooking. There's no problem releasing the report, but in terms of implementation, it will require everybody now to come in to support budgetary allocation. Sometimes, you know, in government, you know really that you need to expand certain benefit to different areas. But the challenge you have is that you make this expansion, then you ask yourself, where is the budgetary allocation to support the expansion? So all those considerations will be made. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That response cannot elicit further questions. The Honorable Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I have, Mr. Speaker, I take, the Honorable Member is a very close friend of mine. But on the issue of hardship allowances, I just want to tell this House one thing, Mr. Speaker. African Americans or Black Americans were enslaved for 480 years. And then after the Civil War, they had again a continuous marginalization for 100 years. When the civil rights movement started in 1960, the white folks, in their own wisdom and their trickery and deceit, said this is for minorities and sneaked in LGBTQ people and I don't know, all sorts of minorities, including the Jews who are the best, and called them now this is minorities. What to do? To easily submerge and take away the rights that the African American was fighting for. This hardship allowance was given specifically to the areas that were left out during the colonial time and subsequent Kenya government as a result of the sessional paper number 10 of 1965. We also had an equalization fund. Our good friends from other parts of the country who had education as far back as the turn of the last century, now are trying to come and share with us the little that used to be given to the genuine hardship areas so that teachers can get a certain incentive to go and work in those areas. Now you want to expand on that the same way they want to change the criteria for the CDF, they want to change the criteria for equalization fund, they want to change all these things. This is, can you, Yamaza? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, my position, this is my friend, but my position is that Luo Nyanza had teachers as far back as 1911, 1905. We have never had teachers ourselves until 1964. The first full primary school was in northern Kenya in 1966. And we have not had any development budget set out to be given to us.
Honorable Farah Malim.
Can you just give me as
Honorable Farah Malim.
Let me just finish.
No, order.
Order.
That report you are debating, and I like the matters you are raising. It's not before the House. I know, but I'm just the order. The promise the Cabinet Secretary has made is that he's going to help, though it is not falling within the mandate of his ministry, the collective responsibility, and to help the House resolve that issue of concern to the people, to get the report wherever it is and facilitate its coming to the House. And it is when that report comes, it is when that report comes, honorable members, that based on its contents, we can debate it. You could be addressing matters. I know how passionate you are on this matter, but you could be addressing matters which are not issues in the report. So, order, honorable Farah Malim. Honorable Barongo, what did you say was out of order?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Mine is different. I just wanted to strongly associate with the work that CS Murkomen is doing. As you may be aware, CS Murkomen and his team were able to visit us recently along the Narok and Kisii County borders that had become prone to skirmishes. And I wanted to say thank you to him and his team for paying very close attention to that area. I wanted to specifically thank him
Order! Please, honorable members, it is not out of order for the honorable member to register his gratitude to the Cabinet Secretary for work well done. Honorable Barongo will be heard in silence. You have 1 minute to go, Honorable Barongo.
So, Honorable Speaker, I wanted to thank CS Murkomen, especially for giving us a patrol base at Kiango, not later than 7 days after he had visited the area. I also wanted to raise the issue, as much as he's pursuing a budget of 2.5 billion to operationalize administrative units, I wanted to bring to his attention the fact that there are other areas that are actually larger than even the gazetted administrative units. So I wanted that for him to note that there was need for him to prioritize these large areas that may not be gazetted, so that we are able to administratively manage the country. Finally, I just wanted to thank the Maasai people and the Kisii people for keeping the peace. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, Honorable CS, for all members who wanted to mention something about hardship, the directions I've given will stand in respect of all contributions you wanted to make thereon. Honorable CS, you see the interest the members have in raising matters with you when you are in the House. I think, one, because of the sensitivity of the ministry you are in charge of. Number two, as also a former member of the House, I want to give you a minute or two to make any last comments if you have. Then we can discharge you to be able to transact other business.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and the House for the very robust interaction. And I promise that, Mr. Speaker, working together with you, especially in sourcing for resources, we should together be able to operationalize the administrative units. We should also make sure that we organize the National Police Reservists in the right way so that they can serve us better. And we should also be able, Mr. Speaker, to resource our administrators and the police officers with proper vehicles so that, Mr. Speaker, together we can respond to security well, including the equipment that is required to ensure that our officers are doing a good job. I appreciate also the interaction we have. It is by doing this that helps me to ensure that I do my job better. And, Mr. Speaker, I have, from next week, I will be starting county security fora in every county, in all the 47 counties. And you will be receiving invitation from my office to attend when it's your own county. I request that we go together so that we can look at issues at a grassroots level and find solutions. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank also my year mate at the University of Nairobi, Honorable Obadia, Engineer Borongo. Mr. Speaker, who though looks young, he must acknowledge that we are age mates, and for appreciating the work we are doing together, and working together with elected leaders, we are able to make sure that our communities live in peace. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I thank you, Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, for coming to the House upon being requested by the House to come and address those matters of concern to the people. You are now discharged in the manner we usually do. If there is any member who would still want to pursue any matters with you in the full manner, I know your doors are open, but you are discharged for now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You may take leave. Next order.
Order number 11, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, second reading.
Is there the chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Samuel Atandi, to move?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2025 be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, before I go into the contents of the bill, which is before the House, let me begin by acknowledging and appreciating the support that we have received as a committee from the leadership of the House, led by the Speaker and our very able clerk, Mr. Samuel Njoroge. Honorable Speaker, also that this is the first substantive agenda that I handle as the new chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee, following my nomination and subsequent election. I also would like to thank the leadership of the House and the leadership of my coalition who had faith in me to be able to handle this matter. Honorable Speaker, budget making is a very long and tedious process that involves many stakeholders. The stakeholders start from the ministry to Parliament through committees. And Honorable Speaker, I wanted to give the House an assurance because, Honorable Speaker, we are taking over this leadership at a time when most members have expressed concerns about the way the committee has been run in the past. And so, therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to assure members that under my leadership, the committee is going to engage in thorough consultations with members, and that the outcome of the report that we'll be able to bring before this House for budget making will be a report that most members will be happy with. And Honorable Speaker, because budget making is done in committees, departmental committees, I also would like to urge members that they be very vigilant in their committees to ensure that they fully participate in the process of budget making. Honorable Speaker, as you can see, I'm now operating from the right side. And this is also something that I want to emphasize, that this is really the reality of the broad-based government. Honorable Speaker, in ordinary sense, I would not be in this side. Then, Honorable Speaker, I want to tell